Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.
There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. Coin flip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenient store, we host a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
And we're live, bros.
Hey, welcome
We're going to the moon.
Welcome to the moon. We took you to the moon and now you're here.
Welcome to the moon, bros. My co-host Nathan, our guest Bonz. How goes it, everybody in the chat? Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and all that good stuff. Tag a friend. So yeah, Nate, how you been, man? How was your day?
Good. Just got a little workout in. Did some deep reflection and thinking kind of like, why are we all here? And I'm not going to figure anything out, so I don't know why I do this all the time. It's still kind of fun. What about you?
Me, I mean, dude, I threw some honey on ham and made a ham steak for breakfast.
All right, yeah, I'm jealous. I've eaten nothing so far.
So, I mean, I smoked a bong, ate some ham, and now I'm here. That was my day.
That's like the Wheaties of podcasting, essentially.
Exactly.
So how you been, Bonz? Long time no see, man.
I'm doing good, man. We've been busy, dude. Busy with on the mission to Mars. It's our planet.
Yes, dude. Let's talk a little bit about that right quick, if you don't mind. So, what is our planet? Because I know a lot, like we have a lot of people that are noobs, coming into the NFT space left and right, in hordes right now. And probably one of the most common questions I get because of my collection being on our planet is, what the heck is our planet?
So yeah, man, it's like, obviously there's a game around it, but the start of it is like, yeah, we're on a mission to Mars. The animals escaped Earth, right? So we're on the spaceship now. The game is like generating all the elements we're gonna need to populate Mars. There's like an element generator, right? So basically you're minting new fungible tokens, and those fungible tokens can be thrown into this generator. And if you're one of the first to come up with a new element, you're actually minting an NFT. So if you're one of the first 600, you're minting an NFT. So every NFT you mint, you're able to stake that back into the system. So of course, the whole thing is based around you're staking NFTs. So it's like a proof of stake, which is really in our system kind of like proof of collector, right? So like the goal was to like get all the collectors from around the wax space to come play the game. So how do you do that? Well, we wanted to incentivize the people who are like the hardcore collectors, because those are like the target market.
And you
right?
gamified the incentivization.
That's exactly right. So now you're incentivized to come get some skin in the game, stake your NFTs, get some of these ether tokens, and that's pretty much the whole game. But of course, we've now just recently released the roadmap, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming. Obviously, we're going to be at Mars soon, and that's when the game really begins. It's going to be a land sale, all kinds of cool stuff coming.
I'm personally pretty stoked about it. I like our planet. Been a big fan since day one. And actually, last night you just mentioned, if you're, mining, I guess, like resources, right, on our planet, and you're generating these things, like somebody created a cloud or something. Like, I guess they a cloud resource or something.
Yeah, like that was discovered last night. Yeah, the person figured out the recipe for cloud.
Right, they did that, and I was like, wait, that's a mint 1 of 1 right now. And that person ended up getting like $300 for me, by the way.
Wow.
Because I bought it.
Wait, what?
So I bought that. Yes.
Just bought
Whoa,
it.
that's what's so cool. This is that like you bring up a cool point. So like, check it out. So like, obviously, coming up with the new elements is hard, right? You got to kind of like think of what ingredients are involved with making these elements, right? And then there's an incentive to being the first one, right? One of which is there's an actual prize pool of like almost 500 wax every time a new element is generated. You also then your account name is now associated with inventing that element, and that's now on the blockchain forever. There's also the incentive of you now are going to be the first person to open that pack. So you're guaranteed to mint 1 of 1. And because you just figured out the equation, you pretty much have, as long as until a bunch of other people figure it out, you can start minting those things like hotcakes if you have the ingredients ready. And, every time you open a pack, of course, because there's so many different rarities and all the different variants of those rarities, you could actually open a bunch of number 1 of 1s before everybody else even has a chance to start figuring that out. But of course, we have a pretty active community. There's like a whole bunch of different community tools that people came up with that are keeping track of like the recipes. So like some of them update automatically via the info coming directly from the chain. So it's like there's only a few minutes before basically it's public, everything's public info. So as soon as someone creates a new element, that recipe is essentially part of the public domain, and it's only going to be a matter of minutes before it's on these tools that the community created. But it does give you an opportunity to basically mint a couple, pop a couple off before everyone else finds out about it. So you're basically guaranteed at least one number 1 mint, assuming you open that NFT pack right away. Yeah, and that's pretty cool. And so yeah, of course, there's sort of this like race to be the first to invent some of these new elements. But of course, as you get further in the game, those elements essentially cost more and more to try to experiment to create. But of course, now with the addition of all these mining tools that we just launched, or if you're lucky enough to own a Kenn Bosak NFT, you're an ether whale, in which case you have plenty of ether to play around with and experiment, in which case. So Ken, I imagine you should be able to be doing all kinds of experiments, because you should be pulling in all kinds of ether, right?
So I did find it unethical to stake my own NFTs on our planet since I am selling them. But what I have done is, if anybody that has bought me one of my own NFTs sends me one, I stake that. So people have been buying me my own NFTs to gift me to stake on our planet, because it's kind of like unethical or immoral for me to just be like, well, I could just like print a ether out of thin air, and it doesn't, so I didn't want to cause any kind of, and I feel like,
permission this way.
Right. I just wanted to be like, yeah, exactly. I just wanted to try to keep it.
You're better than most, I'd say. I'm not going to call it any
right.
project specifically.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me neither, exactly. But I've seen that and I've noticed it, and I'm like, I don't like the way I feel about seeing this, and I don't want people to feel that way when they see mine. So, kind of wanted to go about it the right way. But I really do love that my community that has all these, Kenn Bosak NFTs are able to, earn ether on our planet and generate these, rare resources. It's funny because to me, it's like, it's NFT alchemy. It's exactly that though. Like looking at people like in my chat talking about their recipe books and stuff. It's like, this is fucking alchemy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's creating a whole
and
new
also,
thing.
You're quite the tribal books whale though as well. So make sure you're staking those too, because those actually give really good staking rewards.
Oh, that's a good point. That's right. I have the mint number one.
Super rare book. You bought the last time we did that podcast. You actually got that super rare, like one of one mythic book.
Yes.
That thing is like alone is like an ether mining like mega tool.
NFT. And not just to mention it's ether power on our planet. It's actually probably more than doubled in value since I bought it, and I bought it for a couple hundreds of dollars. So I'm not disappointed. I get a lot of trade offers and like things for it, and I just always have to go to my active received offers and just denying.
Yeah, you were early on that one. That's why, like, we did that podcast. Not a lot of them are even up for sale, and I think we just by talking about it and talking about how rare those books were going to be, you were like getting the FOMO, and you're like, here's this one of one, boom, I'm buying it. It was like early bird gets the worm. You were like on it, and then like right after that, they were like immediately way higher in value. Like there was no more like mythic books put up for sale, and then the ones that were like ridiculously expensive. Like, yeah, you jumped on that quick, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
But yeah, that thing is like an ether mining machine. Like I know those books are like really valuable.
Well, yeah, and that's the cool thing about having different projects involved in this is I have so many different things of my NFTs. Some of them, some NFTs you do list on, Atomic Hub or whatever, so like they're not just collecting dust in your toy box. But some of them you kind of want to put in like a vault or whatever, right? Or like a bank safe, like, and just leave it there. And that to me feels more like our planet for like some of these NFTs that I probably will never sell no matter how much money like they're worth. Like these just mean more to me than the dollar sign behind it. They have a better place than inside that toy box collecting dust. I could put it out on display. And my display case is our planet. I'm like showing off my long-term hodl here on our planet. Meanwhile, the things I'm kind of like shorting, they're the things up for sale over on Atomic Hub.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like, it's like, to me, it's sort of, you kind of seen what Celsius was doing and made a thing for NFTs. And I've been talking to Alex Machinsky about that exact model. And I'm curious, you think that we could see companies like Celsius or BlockFi, since NFTs have really become popular, get involved in some kind of like our planet similar reward model for people?
It's an interesting idea. I love where the DeFi meets NFT thing is going. I know there's already some platforms on ETH where you're allowed to like collateralize your NFTs, right? Like that's why that's what the area kind of really interests me. Obviously, I'm one of the custodians for the Vigor DAC as well, and that's something we've been talking about. And like being able to take a loan against the value of my NFT so that I can then use that loan to go buy some more NFTs that I could then also collateralize to go get some more loans, to go get some more NFTs. That whole aspect of it is awesome. Not to mention that I'm like staking all those NFTs on our planet, so I'm getting more ether. Yeah, a lot of possibilities. The future is bright.
It's almost not fair. You're just printing money.
That's exactly right.
That's the point, though,
really
right?
fun.
Be your own Satoshi. That's my like whole little slogan. Everybody should be printing their own money. Everybody.
That's what we're all dreaming of. This miracle money tree. But that's what's cool about our planet is it does like, even as an artist that's created something for Kenn that's been on there, like it's cool, that feeling of knowing that it's accruing some form of positive interest for somebody, you know. It feels really nice, and it's also like you guys have a lot of interesting ways for users to get involved in your platform too, and that's another thing I think is interesting.
I wanted to touch on something real quick before we go past it, though. Like, you know, the whole community was kind of up in arms and pissed off that the recipes weren't publicly displayed. But in my opinion, you know, I tried to explain to people immediately that like that would break the gaming part of it and the community part of it. What do you think about that, Bonz? Like, you know, should there be like a wiki where all the recipes are public?
Well, there is though. It is totally public. We just don't advertise it, but it's like it's by no means hidden. It's right in our pinned messages, right on the Telegram. Like, in fact, like, you know, it was kind of cool because the community, of course, is industrious. People are going to come up with cool tools, and like, shout out to a couple of the cats in our chats. Like, I know Ivan made an awesome tool early on, but dude, so yeah, like I was there on day one, like throwing ether into the fire, right? Like we were just trying to experiment, make all this stuff. So then, but then like, you know, it was only a matter of a day before someone's like, hey, all these tries are on chain. And then you like, this dude made this tool that's like, I don't know if you guys have seen like the generator tool where you literally can just like, it looks just like the generator tool on our site, but it's just like it's free to use. You're just throwing elements in there and it tells you if it's been tried or not. So now it's like, you know, you at least aren't, you know, like those first couple of days, we probably all tried some of the same recipes like over and over and over.
See,
again,
this is what I was trying to explain to people. And this is incentivizing the community to build on top of the game and build on top of it. Like Game Boy incentivized Game Shark. They didn't make it. Somebody was like, you know, it'd be really cool if this Game Boy had a cheat code thing. And now a company came out of thin air, manifested something out of nothing because Game Boy existed. Now we had a Game Shark. And that's how I look at like what you're talking about with like this, you know, guy who made the recipe thing. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, if you didn't have travel books, if you didn't have our planet to kind of build on top of, like, you wouldn't have anything to build. And that's cool that you guys are making that possible.
We love open source for that reason. Like we all want to change things and look for like ways to optimize stuff. So it's we can't complain about it when we get the opportunity to do it in a fun way for once. I think it's an amazing way to just provide users incentive to make you better, like Kenn just said. Essentially, like there's no one else doing that in a fun way. So I applaud.
Yeah, it's always so surprising to me, like how fast, like, dude, like I was so impressed by the one, like the kid basically built an app, which is like a fun game in and of itself. Like the kid basically like just took all this information that's publicly available and then just made it into a total, you know, an addition to our game. Basically, it's like every time I open the game now, I have another tab open with this tool, with this, you know, whole other tool that this community member made specifically so I could be like trying things out, you know. And it's like when new people come in and they're like, yeah, what's up with this game? The first thing we tell them is, hey, make sure you're using the tools that are available because we have an awesome community. People are like made all these cool spreadsheets and Google Docs to be able to like check out, like, you know, that you can kind of like study and try to like come up with sort of like how the formulas are created. And, you know, it's you know, it's like it's all about the community. So like the community is going to come up with cool tools and everybody's sharing them. So it's like everybody knows these. If we put them right in the pinned message, like it's by no means like, you know, we want people to use the tools because it's like that's what makes it more fun, you know, because there's nothing more frustrating. Like people still come in like literally like, hey, I'm new to this game. I just wasted a bunch of ether. What the hell happened? And we're like, dude, use the tools.
DYOR.
Pay attention. Yeah, pay attention to what's going on. It's right in the pinned message, you know. Like we're totally like promoting these tools that people make, and we want the game to be fun. Obviously, that's what's going to continue people to play it. You know, it's like if people get frustrated and they think it's not fun, they're not going to play it. You know, so it's like, yeah, we want it to be fun. We want people to use the tools that are available, and yeah, it's only going to grow from there. You know.
Yeah, you guys at least have a great product that's doing something that basically no one else is doing all in one place. So. That's pretty awesome. I think everybody's going to try to steal this from you too. So it's cool that you did it first. And
yeah,
totally.
I love it.
Yeah, I think everybody's coming for this idea.
You know, that's why I'm laughing though. Is like this, like I said earlier, this is exactly. I've been telling Alex Machinsky to build something like this for probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
And at like 200 plus different conferences I've seen him attend, I'm like, so when's Celsius for NFTs? When's Celsius for NFTs? And then Our Planet comes out day one. I'm like, okay, I'm all in. Like, this is genius. Big brain. Had zero clue who was behind. Just like, all right, this is fucking genius. You know? And I just immediately saw the potential behind it. And I also went out and bought a mint number 1 mini pack for $1,000 the other day. So
Whoa.
I have the mint number 1 pack. I was looking at the mega pack, but it didn't seem like a reasonable, like, you know what I mean? I was like, I got too much wax staked. I'm staking about 250,000 wax right now, and I didn't have any spending wax, so I couldn't grab the mega block or whatever, the big pack.
You left that in your other jeans, your spending wax.
Yeah, but I do have my mint number 1s, man, and I think that's where I'm at right now. Since I've been in this space for so many years, I'm just at that point where it's like I'm only buying mint number 1s anymore.
And nobody can really compete with you on that. I've seen what you're working with.
I've been here for years, bro. I've been here way too long. Like it's been a very boring long ride on a slow ass elevator to this top.
Yeah, but now you get to look down on all the peasants and be like, I was here first. And you're also like, I also don't care.
I also don't care. Yeah, I'm giving away NFTs that are like thousands of dollars. And it's just like, I feel like the Mr. Beast of NFTs. It's just like, you get an NFT, like Oprah, you get an NFT, you get an NFT.
Well, that's why you're the CEO. That's why you're the CEO of NFTs.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I try, man. It's just, it feels good to give back, You can't brag without a little bit of giving back, right? So it's like whenever I feel like I need to, pat myself on the back, I give away first, and then I can toot my own horn.
You're allowed to toot as much as you want.
Dude, like when I got those Bitcoin Origin blocks, I got way too many of them. They went way too much in value, and I had to give away some of them. You know what I mean?
Your cup was overflowing. You wanted to like spill it.
Exactly. Yes, when cuppeth overflow, shareth I do.
A lot of people in crypto forget, like, even like a year ago when I was getting into this stuff more heavily, like, there is still that charitable aspect to a lot of the community. And greed has like stepped in a big way. And people forgot that people actually used to give crypto away all the time.
I miss when people bought NFTs just to buy NFTs, and now they buy NFTs because they think they can get a Lambo. And I'm like, well, that's that shit that ruined Bitcoin, you fucking idiots. Now you're trying to ruin NFTs with the same bullshit. Go back to your shitcoins and leave us alone.
Yeah.
We just want to buy toys we like. Stop trying to price us out because you're like the dickhead standing in line at Toys R Us buying all the PlayStation 5s. And now I can't find a single PlayStation 5 anywhere.
Right.
And it's all because assholes that don't even want one are just fucking, hoarding them. And we're getting that in NFTs now, man. It sucks. It's ruining it a little bit.
Dude, our sale, like, you brought up Bitcoin Origins, is the same thing, right? I mean, the sales now and like the bots are like out of control. Like regular people have a hard time just even getting in on these sales. And so like our miner sale, we wanted it to be low because we wanted them to be exclusive. We also didn't want to overflow the supply of ether, right? But of course, like, you have people that were buying them with no intention of playing the game, with no intention of actually using the miner. They only bought them specifically to flip them. And that's always going to be, there's always going to be that aspect. But then you got people that are just specifically running bots and scripts. And that just like, to me is like, it just takes away from, then people just are frustrated, and then what's worse is like people act like, people are then immediately in our chat, totally pissed off, acting like, it's our team's fault that they didn't get one. This whole thing is a scam. These sales suck. And it's like, dude, it's like, did you try to buy concert tickets lately? It's the same shit. It's like you got StubHub and scam ticket bastards that are, running bots.
And then you got to go find a guy in a trench coat on the corner and hope he gives you a ticket for the right time and not a matinee at 8 p.m.
Yeah, and then they're fake. And then they're fake though. It's like all those guys around MSG, like they're like 90% of them are fake tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, every industry is dealing with this issue, and every platform in crypto essentially is dealing with this greed issue in some way or another.
And the real game breaker though right now is that on-chain scarcity. That's what's kind of breaking the game, and I think what we're going to see is some kind of, terms and conditions, fine print applied to NFTs moving forward, to where like if people are hoarding these NFTs and it's not been used in game, then it'll probably be blacklisted, remint it, and then redistribute it to a community member that is actually going to fucking use it in the game. So after 24 months of sitting on your shelf, you're just going to end up losing it, because, you know, like, use it or lose it should be a thing in NFTs right now. At least the ones that have utility. There's so many NFTs out there that do not have any utility. Let them sit on your shelf and do nothing. But the ones that have utility, at least use them. Or, for the love of God, at least, like I said, like, I have some up for sale that are like ridiculous prices. But that's what I'd be, well, at least set your ridiculous prices.
Yeah, what you were just talking about is such a great idea, and that's one of the like the revolutionary aspects of NFTs. I think that people are just scratching the surface of, and a lot of people don't even really understand. But like, you know, like going back to like the tickets thing, right? Like, this is something I've been thinking a lot about, right? Like you know, of course, you know, like you try to get tickets to your favorite band, right? Like, it's sold out right away. Well, it's like, think about NFT, like, it's just like what you were talking about, like the proof of fan, right? Like you buy this NFT, you have these NFTs in your wallet. This is now all possible for it to be like, is this account flipping those NFTs, or is this account actually scanning those NFTs? And then for future sales, that information could be referenced, and it could be like, this person should get a higher priority because they actually use the tickets. Or in this case, like, you know, with an NFT for a gaming item, like, if this person's actually using that item, they should get some kind of higher priority, right? And it's like, if they just buy them and flip them, they should get a less priority, right? And it's like, and then you could go even a step further, and you could be like, you know, you know, I'm like a huge Fish fan, right? So it's like, you know, I've seen hundreds of Fish shows. So it's like, you know, I imagine a day when it will be like, yeah, like all these, you know, ticket stub NFTs that are in my wallet, that's like proof of attendance, right? So now it's like they do some sale, and it's like, oh, these people who are like super fans that have seen 100 shows should get like, you know, high, you know, tier 1 priority. Or if this person's like seen, you know, 1,000 shows, they have like God priority. They should just automatically get a ticket if they want to see a show. Because and the fact that they would know, then you're not like a flipper, and you're not like just trying to make money off of the
because you can check
sales.
the ledger and see if it has been transferred or has been
exactly
bought or
right.
sold. Exactly.
That's one thing I'm trying to do at Super World is, because we're going to have all these events now, I want to create secondary markets for ticket stub collections, essentially.
Well, yeah, and exactly. I was going to mention that it's not even the utility that would bring value. It's funny that you mentioned the whole ticket stub thing with Fish and stuff. I mean, imagine if you were like a Beatles roadie and you had all the Beatles concert tickets in like an album. Walk into any pawn shop in, you know, the world, and you'd get probably damn near $1 million for
rich.
Yeah, right. And it's just because you have these ticket stubs.
It's so cool. And just the fact that those could be on the blockchain and that it's actually legit. I mean, back then, if they're from that era, you could totally reproduce something, and just like, the hard part would be, you know, getting it to show that type of age. But anything back then or nowadays that isn't provided with some sort of code on it, like, it's easily what's the word I'm thinking of? Counterfeit.
Yeah, right, exactly. Counterfeited, reproduced.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about NFTs too, is like, you know, as we move into this era of like digital IDs, and like how you are going to be your own wallet, right? And so it's like, you think of like, you know, proof of location and all this, like, you know, proof of attendance, right? So like, going back to the concert ticket thing, so it's like, yeah, I bought this NFT, this concert ticket. When I open up my Wax wallet, or my, you know, whatever wallet, and they scan that ticket, now it's essentially proof that I was there. So it's proof of attendance, and that you know, quote unquote stub in this case would be part of my wallet, right? Well, then that could all be part of, you know, the incentive system for like, you know, the band to use for like, who are our super fans? Well, we're going to check all these wallets for all these people who have been to our shows. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, for sure. The first thing we're going to see is probably airdropped redeemable swag. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We're seeing that already with like things like blockchain heroes, or even like blockchain cards. One of my bros, you know, if you buy an NFT, you can redeem it for something physical to get shipped to you in the mail. I think that's probably going to be one of the first practical applications. You go to a concert, most likely a digital concert these days, right? Because COVID and lockdown and everything. When you go to a digital concert, you're going to get a digital ticket stub. You get your digital ticket stub, you're going to get a digital swag bag. You take your digital swag bag and you redeem it for physical swag. They're going to tokenize this. That's already happening.
what I'm doing is making it so the ticket is also a swag bag. So imagine your ticket is also a pack. So that's, and this helps.
Right,
with the
like a pack
also.
of cards or something. A pack of
Yeah, so you can choose to keep it as a ticket, which people are going to pay money for. They want that in their collection. But it's also tempting to open the pack and see what's in there, because maybe these things are only available in concert ticket packs that you bought for this show. So
exactly.
You open it.
That's a great idea.
Twice as much money. If you don't, you're guaranteed to have money. You might have less if you open it. So this is the stuff like I've been working on, and it's super exciting. And that's why I'm so excited about what you're doing too. I see like so many layers to add to something like the things I'm working on. So many people I know are doing exciting stuff in DeFi, and they're realizing how it relates to NFTs right now. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I know our one buddy is super happy about all the Aether, or at least he was. I don't know if he's still doing it, but yeah, that one is super crazy.
Yeah, my mint one of ones, they're pretty expensive, so they do have a pretty nice weight in Aether, which I appreciate.
Yeah, very cool. How does somebody go about doing that? They just have to be an artist that's on your radar, or they have to apply for something, or are you accepting anything?
Oh, you mean as far as like listing the new projects? Honestly, it's like we of course originally the deal was like, yeah, find all the communities that have, all the NFT projects that have a community, like try to bring in all like the biggest, most active communities, so that's of course why we started with all the big ones, but we are getting like approached by more and more like smaller independent people as well, and they're like, and everybody, there's a spot in the future where I see every collection being involved, and there's some stuff actually that's in the works that I can't really even go into, but like basically I see it as like eventually, anybody with a legit verified type collection will be listed, but yeah, as of now, there's only so much time. We actually stopped taking applications for a minute and just got like, we're like concentrating on like, we had the sale coming and then like the launch of all this stuff. So, but yeah, in the meantime, once we get back to listing more projects, yeah, we used to have there was like a link right on the site. We actually took it down, but basically anybody can just send in, and apply to get listed. There's not really any concrete criteria. It was more like we were using, if collections are verified, if just basically going by like the response from the community. If there was a ton of people asking for it, we knew that there was a lot of like demand, which means you're bringing a community with you, right? And that's really what it was about, is like if we had a collection.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
so your community will vouch for you. You don't have to worry if there's reproduction going on. Yeah, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it immediately help my community as far as like give them something cool to do with something that was just intended to be a collectible, and now that essentially it's like a super chat receipt that they can go and stake on our planet, and to me that is such an honor, because it's such like it's a vision I've had for so many years, to just have like things like that kind of a utility, that gamified community aspect of like, contribution, reward, and all that kind of like tokenized. And it's just, again, I feel very honored to be a part of like what our planet's doing. And yeah, that's why I went out and bought that mint number one pack. You know what I mean? It's just like, I love our planet, and I wanted to show it by hodling my mint number one pack. And then I saw that cloud hit the market, bro, and I was like, "Wait, that is a happy cloud."
Dude, what you're talking about too is like it's like a positive reinforcement loop where, like, just like you were just describing, you're like now reinvesting back into it. It's like, well, dude,
right.
Like all these projects that we launched, like it was no coincidence that like the day we launched Monsters of Rap, and there was like another one that was at the same time, like all of a sudden those projects were like on the top 10 at Crypto Slam, like for sales, right? Like people were basically like buying up all the cheap NFTs that people had listed on like Atomic, because they had a staking value, right? So it's like we're basically indirectly, by listing a project, all of a sudden, like, people who weren't even collectors of those projects are now like, oh, I see all these super cheap NFTs listed. They bought them up specifically to go stake them on our planet, so it's kind of like the rising tide lifting all boats. It's like we literally like added, and it helps wax too, right? So now you're adding all of these, like, you're adding volume to sales, which is what the metrics that people are using for how much sales are happening on chain, like what are the what's the like volume of trading happening on any given chain. And it's like just by us adding a project, all of a sudden like the volume increases, there's more sales, that helps the authors get their cut, that helps, you know, Atomic Hub get their cut. You know, and then they're stoked because then they're earning more ether, and then they're playing our game, which stokes us out. So it's like, yeah, it's win-win-win, as our uplifter friends would like to say.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because the utility is what we're all in this for. A lot of us in like this particular community are like more users of technology, and we're not just like investors and stuff. But it's cool to kind of want to be both in a way where you don't feel like you're selling out to some sort of financial institution or like this greedy machine. Like,
well, I just think this is perfect for artists that aren't techies. Now they could try to do something with something like Our Planet or with Our Planet directly, right? And now maybe they're just like Vesa, right? Vesa's just an artist, right? But now his art that is just art right now has utility outside of secondary market sales. You can stake it on Our Planet. And I think, you know, providing any utility, like Bonz said, it clearly adds value to that collection immediately. And I think that, you know, the NFTs that already have their game stuff, like the Alien Worlds, and now in addition to the utility inside of Alien Worlds with their NFTs, you can also stake them on Our Planet with Aether and then go do and trade with Trillium on the secondary market from Aether to Trillium. And it's really weird to see this stuff being done because I've always envisioned it sort of like, you know, with bigger companies figuring out, since like, you know, one company owns like what, like 50 different brands. I mean, how much fun could they have gamifying that community with like loyalty point and reward tokens? And I don't know, like you guys, in my opinion, are kind of setting the groundwork for those big companies like Doritos and Mountain Dew to kind of come in and figure out what are they going to do with NFTs and their gamification, with their marketing and their, you know, community and stuff like that.
Yeah, has anybody hit you up kind of like looking for consultation advice on anything like this, on how to gamify stuff or no?
Yeah, actually, they totally have it. You know, Ken, you were just talking about you know, the utility in game stuff, and one of the people I was just talking to is some of the from the HODL Gods team. I don't know if you guys have checked out that game. Yeah, dude, that game looks awesome. I haven't had a chance to. I haven't really dove into like the game. I know people are like already collecting up. They have all this like armor and gear and shit. Like I don't even know, but like I don't even know like what I should be collecting. But I need. You know what I do?
I did the same thing in tribal books. I just said, hey guys, can you send me a list of things I need, because I don't have everything and I'm too busy to find my shopping list. And I had a few people in your community send me a shopping list, and I was like, I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got 20 wax in my wallet. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, HODL Gods is cool, man. Like they have a legit game. Like obviously it looks super dope. Like that Unreal Engine they're using, it's like a real AAA looking game. Yep. Like I imagine it's going to be huge. So yeah, they of course have all their in-game, which, you know, of course that's going to be one of the first major like mainstream use cases for NFTs. I think we all agree, right? Like video games where you now have provable ownership, right? So like Blankos. Like I don't know if you guys are into Blankos.
Oh, I am so into Blankos.
Dude, I'm totally into Blankos.
I am a Blanco.
Yeah. So, dude, I was talking to the HODL God team about like, yeah, like think about, because we're all using the same standard. That's what's so cool. It's like, so it's super easy to have this like crossover potential. So like, I immediately was like, yeah, like so somewhere in HODL Gods, you know, you like open some item and then it's like some dual purpose, you know, now I can use that tool on Our Planet, you know, like video games could be dropping items that could work in both games. So you have all this other like potential of like, you know, just
we have the first layer of interoperability right now, man, because like Fortnite set that standard, and not a lot of people give them that credit because it's like a 5-year-old's mainstream video game. But without Fortnite, we wouldn't be able to play Call of Duty or Apex Legends on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC at the same time on the same servers. Fortnite set a standard for interoperability, and that was just cross-console. We're going to see some game partner with another game and have that interoperable cross-platform weapon or car or whatever it may be. Yep. It could be a vehicle in Grand Theft Auto, and it could be an off-terrain vehicle in Call of Duty. And that's now we're going to see interoperability, not just of platform, but interoperability of in-game assets.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's such a cool aspect. Like, yeah, the possibilities are endless. But yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, I love that aspect. Like bridging completely separate gaming communities, and that's what helps the whole thing grow too. Because of course, if you've never heard of Our Planet and you're playing Hodl God and you find some item, and it also has Our Planet utility, that person's going to be that much more likely to go like, oh, I'll go try out that game. I already have some of the items that work in that game, and that's just a way to grow your user base. Just like, I mean, we kind of like pioneered this concept of like bring in all these different communities. Because think about it, it's like people try to get players, and especially get players that are gonna potentially spend money in your game. I mean, that's difficult, and there's a customer acquisition cost associated with that. And I think they say something like it's like less than 10%, maybe it's even like 5% of players account for like all the money that's spent on like video game owners, or right, like all those big popular games that are doing like billions of dollars in sales, like Fortnite, right? Like it's only like 5% of the players or something that account for like billions of dollars, which is mind-boggling when you think about that. Like that it's a small, most people are just playing the games for free, So how do you get those? You can make this awesome game like Fortnite. They spend all this money, right? And if it wasn't for that 5% of players, they wouldn't make any money. But with that 5% of players, they're making billions of dollars a year, which is like incredible.
And that is with $0 on a secondary market. Imagine when they can open up a secondary market and make 5 to 15% commission on every secondary sale. Whole $1 trillion industry coming soon.
It's coming, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gaming's going to revolutionize an entire work industry. Like, people in a very small way are already having like that, the kids in high school aren't looking at how to be like, football players. They're like, how do I play like Madden and Twitch and get famous?
Exactly.
Yeah, they want to do it there instead of doing it in the real world,
Right.
It's way better anyway. You're not going to actually get hurt playing football. You're just going to get paid money to do it on the couch.
Yeah, they have no incentive to do a secondary market right now with the way that the technologies are that they're using for the in-game assets. But if they do start to use NFTs in games like Fortnite, they will see the benefit of those secondary market sales, and that incentive will drive other games and them to do things like this, where like right now I have a skin in Fortnite that I can't like do anything with. I could sell you my email and password, and that gives you my entire Fortnite account, but that one skin on eBay is going for about $2,000 right now. It's called the Galaxy skin, and the only way you could have got it is if you bought one of these Samsung phones. And the phone was like $2,000, so I got the phone, and then I was like, I don't even play Fortnite, but I might as well redeem this skin, right? And I was just like, oh, now I play Fortnite because fucking Samsung and in-game content. And I was like, and this was when obviously years ago when Fortnite first came out. this phone's like 3 years old now. And I was just like, I saw it even then. I'm like, this is how they're going to use NFTs, like straight up. It was clear as day, and now to see it being adopted and used by the individuals, because I think it is way too hard for big companies like, Treyarch, who makes Call of Duty or whatever, to just jump in and do NFT in-game guns and in-game camo for your skins. But this is the opportunity for, individuals and smaller, businesses, and projects like, Our Planet, Tribal Books, Hodl Gods, Blockchain Heroes, Alien Worlds. These are the people that can take advantage of it because they can grow with the space. But these companies that are just too damn big, they're like giants on the battlefield. They're just moving so slow in perspective.
Well, they're already making billions of dollars too, right?
Right, exactly.
And dude, you think the incentive, like you said, the incentive isn't there. They're already making billions of dollars, right? So like, the model isn't broken as far as they're concerned, right? But what I think is gonna change the game is like what Blankos is doing, right? So like, they're actually creating like the whole ecosystem around so that other game studios can actually just like adopt what they've already built. So like once they prove that the model is like that, these game companies, like you were saying, those like slow lumbering like games that are already making $1 bajillion a year, like once they see that they can make twice that and be like, expand their player base and bring in more of the actual paying players, expand on that 5% of those players that are paying them the $1 billion, like they'll adopt it too, and it's like, I think once the model is proven, I think, that's why, people underestimate like what Blancos is really doing, but I think that they're going to be like paving the way for like all these big game studios in the future. And from what I know about what they're building, it's like, it's going to be like, they're making that available. They're kind of like, as far as the legalities too, I think that there's some aspects too there that are like, there's, just like we all know, the regulations like fuck everything up, like makes everything more difficult. And these big game studios, like they're probably, just like we know with everything, right? They're scared. Companies are scared to get into crypto, as we've seen with Wax, like some of these major launches.
Well, what are your thoughts on like what the NBA Top Shot's doing? Because I can't get my private key to any of those NFTs, and they're selling for like $200,000. But are they really NFTs if they're only centralized to whitelisted addresses on whitelisted platforms? And I'm just curious what your thoughts are on how like that version of mainstream adoption is going and where it may end up.
I think it's an amazing stepping stone to get to. First of all, you think of the barriers that are going to be broken down, right? Like now people, like mainstream people understand that, yes, this digital asset is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, the blockchain is basically, people want to say it's not even a real blockchain, right? But it's essentially a permission blockchain. It's totally closed. Whether or not, people want to question whether or not it's a real NFT. I mean, sure, it's an NFT, just like people question whether Wax, there's Ethereum maxis that question that want to pretend like Wax NFTs aren't real NFTs, right? But it's like anybody can issue an NFT on a blockchain, right? And so I don't think there's any reason to try to like invalidate or validate. I think what NBA Top Shot is doing is going to lift the entire space. Like if anything, it's kind of like a billboard for what Wax is doing and what these other like, permissionless chains are doing, because like you pointed out, we can sell all these, quote unquote NFTs or NBA moments, but then like even getting your money out is like kind of like a hassle, right? And there's this whole like process in KYC or whatever. It takes like 6 weeks, and it's like people should be, grateful for what they're doing, because in a way it shows like the possibilities of like how a system like Wax is so much better. We own the NFT, and when we sell it, we own those tokens right away, right? Like there's no middleman in between allowing us to get our cash out, so to speak, or like own the the proceeds from those sales. But having said that, I think that team is actually like, and I think this is the whole key, and I think you totally touched on it. It's like, and I don't know if this is like coming in the near future or not, but like imagine like at some point, when that NBA Top Shot NFT can be like wrapped and sent over to your Ethereum wallet, and you can put it up on SoRare or like OpenSea, right? That's when the whole game is like changed, right? And I don't know how soon that is to happening, or
it's on their roadmap. They're partnered with OpenSea, and they're going to do that exactly. So, and that's where I'm thinking, we're probably going to see, and I'm not financial advice at all, but if these NFTs are trading for $200,000 right now with all of those roadblocks to like barriers, and you're going to put it on OpenSea, there's a very reasonable 10x in the fucking foreseeable future for those ridiculously valuable NFTs. But that's also because this is a first time mainstream adoption utility. They have that first to market, almost like they're the Bitcoin of NFTs right now, right? Like to the mainstream, it's like they are the first real fucking NFTs. And if they keep going to getting that like OpenSea and giving you the private key, and they keep building out to be more like that, they're just going to keep crushing it.
Yeah, and this isn't a bad thing that they've been presented with some issues, because it's giving decentralized platforms opportunities to see, all right, this is where they went right, this is where they went wrong, let's try to improve upon this. Because I know a lot of platforms that are trying to incorporate credit card usage into their stuff, and they love that, but then they don't like the part that people can't get their money out. So all these things are just showing us how to do stuff the correct way. So I think it's great. Like,
Gary Vee touched on something I wanted to mention real quick, because I wanted to see what Bon's thoughts were on, the liquidity issues that we may see dry up, or at least, dilute the liquidity that we already have in the NFT space as we start to see more projects come in during this NFT wave, this boom. Do you think that we could start to see a dilution of value of our NFTs due to the surplus, or maybe like a flooding of NFTs in the market. Like if Dapper Labs did NBA, NFL, MLB, all of them all at once, would those NBA Top Shots be worth 200 grand, or would they have diluted out so much that they would never have gotten to that six-figure sales?
I know what you're saying, but I think this is one of the amazing things about NFTs. Everything in the real world that has a community behind it, that same community will follow into NFTs, right? So like you imagine, like if they, like going to your example, if all of a sudden there's MLB or soccer, whatever NFTs, like I think SoRare is doing, right? Like it's not the same rabid fan base, right? Like the guys that are crazy about collecting these Top Shots, right? Like some of them are just crazy NBA fans, right? So they're going to collect that before they collect like a baseball or a soccer one, right? And then you have the people that are just crazy collectibles, like people that are like going to collect, that are like, like guys like Gary Vee that are like, they're not sport specific. They're like have a wide net to cast, right? But then you have these other, like all these niche communities, like you think of like, Pokemon, right? Like there's probably some Pokemon fanatics out there that have no interest in NBA Top Shot whatsoever. But as soon as those Pokemon NFTs are out there, they're going to be throwing their money into the ring, right? So, dude, I mean, and you just think like the whole world is full of these like niche communities, and all these communities aren't in yet. So, yeah, I totally know what you mean, because yeah, there's a lot of shit NFTs too, right? Like there's going to be infinite shit NFTs and everything with a brand. And kind of like going back to what you were saying, we could touch on what your tweet from this morning that I was kind of disagreeing with. It's like, yeah, there's going to be shit celebrity. People are going to put their name on any random junk, right? And people are going to buy it just like they do in real life. Like a celebrity puts their name on some shit. If someone really wants to like support that celebrity, they're going to buy that shit, right? And you and I might think it's garbage, but if those people are fans of that celebrity and they want to support that celebrity, good for them.
I have no qualm with that. My issue is with the celebrities promoting that NFT as an investment opportunity, not what you've just described to me. That is why I say don't buy celebrities NFTs, because these celebrities have recently started to talk about how valuable their NFTs. Somebody's going to end up becoming the greater fool of every fucking celebrity.
That's with anything though, bro. I mean, think about this whole space brand. I mean, dude, people shilling Dogecoin. I mean, dude, it's like everything is like what somebody's willing to pay for. But at least
Doge doesn't promote itself as an investment opportunity. They're just Doge.
Yeah, they're like,
and I get it. I agree totally with what
it's the mainstream celebrities that promoted Doge as an investment vehicle, but the main community of Doge has never once done that.
Right. Well, because we get that it's a joke, and just like with NFTs. Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying it actually helps Doge and all of crypto as a community when it gets that attention, because the ones that really know what's going on are just going to kind of shrug it off anyway. And the others are getting kind of a quick education the way that we all have over the course of time, and they'll invest the proper way as they go. I think it's
right.
Kind of hard at the beginning in a way it's not too aggressive, I guess.
And I think the same thing will happen with NFTs. Like I think that's kind of the point that I was kind of trying to make with Ken, right? So like, yeah, like if some celebrity makes some NFT and you get some total like no coiner who has no idea what an NFT even is to be like interested in it. Yeah, like obviously you don't want people like quote unquote investing in random shit. But like the fact that they're then interested in this digital item and they realize it has value, similar to like what you're suggesting with Doge, right? Like they get their foot in the door maybe because of Doge, but then they realize that it's not Bitcoin, that they should be investing in Bitcoin, right? Like it's kind of like if they get some random junk NFT, but now they have a wallet and now they're on, the market, whether it's SoRare, whether it's whatever chain it's on or whatever ecosystem it's on, then they're exposed to all these other NFTs, and then they start learning, right? Because now you have skin in the game. Now I have this NFT. Well, what's this whole NFT thing about? It's kind of like with Top Shot, right? Like you probably have all these people buying Top Shots that never really knew like what an NFT really was, or what. Do you think we
got a majority of the people back that their first experience of Bitcoin was BitConnect? Do you think we got them back, that majority yet? Because I'm worried we're going to run into these BitConnect NFT, first-time NFT investors, and they're not going to... You're explaining best-case scenario. My worst case scenario is the most likely, where these people are going to have a shitty experience buying a shitty celebrity, shitty NFT, shitty selfie, and getting stuck realizing like, wait, I gave them like $100 for this and it's not even worth 10 cents. I'm not going to buy any more NFTs. NFTs are all a scam because this NFT was a scam. And the word NFT is an umbrella. It's not like BCC, BitConnect, and BTC, Bitcoin. It's NFT, and NFT is an NFT. If one's a scam, they're all a scam. We're going to have that problem, and it's going to be like a 5 to 10 year on-ramping fucking shitstorm if we don't nip it in the bud here and now as the boom starts.
I think that's why we don't have a Celsius NFT yield program at this point, because I think they're aware of the door that they're going to open if they put it on that kind of massive stage, and how liable they could be for a lot of the misinformation. Kind of indirectly liable because it wouldn't be them. It's kind of this perception out in the public and in the masses, but they'd still be facilitating something that it's in its infancy, and there's a lot of questions on how it's going to be regulated, and they probably just don't want to touch it yet. So just to
I think I think it increases the education too about really a lot of the core things that us, like us crypto people think about all the time, right? Like what is value in the first place, right? Like people talk about it a lot with the art aspect of it, and a lot of NFTs. So you have all these different genres of NFTs. You have all these art NFTs, and like what we've been talking about with utility NFTs, which is it's a lot easier to explain the value proposition of a utility NFT, whereas art in itself is so subjective, right? And so, and to your point, Ken, like you're talking about, like, yeah, like all these celebrities are going to sell this junk, and like, but you think of all the junk that celebrities sell in real life, right? Like people buy random junk, and they don't necessarily expect that it's going to go up in value. And I understand what you're saying too, because then now there's this aspect of NFTs where people think
right,
it's like,
the expectation is the gain of value. That's the problem. Nobody has ever once got in line at Comic-Con and said, I'm going to stand in line for 4 hours to get a signature from somebody from The Walking Dead, and then I'm going to go and sell it on eBay. Maybe one out of everybody in that line is going through Comic-Con, getting a ticket, getting in line, getting somebody from Walking Dead to sign a picture and selling it on eBay. But now everybody in line trying to get that picture signed at Comic-Con, they're all getting in line with the thought of making a 10x. That's the problem I have. It's like, that's scary shit.
Well, then,
we don't go to Toys R Us and buy toys thinking we're going to make money. We just buy them because we love them.
Totally true, and it's the same. It's the same with collectibles, though, right? And it's the same with. I mean, you could say that about seriously, like comic books or sports cards or anything, right? Like you have some people that are specifically hoarding sports cards because they want to sell them later for a profit, right? Then you have people that genuinely collect toys or collect whatever just because they're collectors and they really want to like have that collection. It's also like a status symbol thing, right?
Yeah,
like some
true.
people, like, you got to think it's like it's going to cover the whole gambit. Yeah, just like. With baseball cards, people collect baseball cards. Some people just for the love of baseball and for collecting, and some people are specifically for the hustle, and they're gathering up as many of those baseball cards as they can, specifically so that they can hustle them later for a profit, right? And it's all about, like, just like with anything, with baseball cards or comic books or NFTs, like people should always know what they're buying, right? Like whatever you're buying, whatever
I just feel like these celebrities are putting in the bare minimum effort. They have the funds to hire artists that are already established. They could be doing collabs, is kind of what I'm getting at, right? Like,
is there anyone you want to call out specific? So who's chinsing
Soldier Boy, that piece of shit scamming motherfucker. Yo, I will fight you. Fight me, Soldier Boy. Fight me. Pussy.
That's what I was waiting for. That's my boy.
To beat Ken, the co-host is waiting. No, but I think this is the thing about, we talked about what gives something value a little bit, and it all comes down to love and community. The only reason monetary systems exist are to support community. Because without community, we would have no need for money, because we have to deal with others. They have things we want, we have things that they want. And instead of just trading, because there's no equal scale to trade everything on, we use these little denominations of value. And that's the thing about collectors, is we're creating it. Like when Ken has an active Telegram group, like that's creating value. If somebody has like a Twitter account that's popping off, that's creating value. And as long as they're not spreading that perception into the masses as an investment too much, they're keeping it in the community, like, hey, this is a value offering for you in my community. Yep. Then it's okay. But somebody like Soldier Boy, it's got as big of a platform. He's kind of he's giving it a bad name in that sense, that he's assigning it a value when it hasn't been created yet by the community.
Well, you got to remember too, value is totally subjective, right? As we all know,
It's 1
anything's
o'clock.
only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So in this case though too, and this is what I've kind of been saying this, I've said this a few times now, and I think it really should like be drilled into like the consciousness of people who are like just getting into NFTs. It's like people should really think about like you said, Ken, like if people are thinking that it's going to be some sort of investment vehicle, they should really be thinking about what is this, what's the community around this, whatever it is, if it's Soldier Boy, like what kind of community is going to be around Soldier Boy when he's like, in 20, 30 years, when he's like 70,
Well, what
80
about
years
Logan
old?
Paul,
Is there gonna
right?
be-
Logan Paul just did an NFT, and I tweeted out the other day, Logan Paul's fans are not NFT investors. They are fucking children. Why would anybody think that his community will be investing into his NFTs when the average viewer is a 13-year-old girl?
They're gonna forget about him.
Yeah, I mean, but that's building community, right? So say he's got all these 13-year-old girls, he airdrops them all.
He ain't
limited,
airdropping,
Logan
he's
Paul,
selling. That's the
whatever.
problem. Beeple proved you could
Yeah,
sell
true.
$1 NFTs as a celebrity artist, and the secondary market will pay you in full eventually. Now you have celebrities coming out and selling $10,000 selfies when they could just fucking sell it for $1, and every time they get a secondary sale, that commission fee, let that go to charity.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I agree.
I
I mean, if they
There's
have
better
fans
ways
that
to
wanna-
do this,
if
but
they
they're
have
not
fans that
doing
wanna
it
pay.
right. They're
Yeah, I mean,
FOMOing
there's
in,
always
bro.
gonna be-
They're FOMOing in
Yeah,
all the
of
wrong
course.
ways.
Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
you want people to bromo, not
Right, bromo, never FOMO.
There we go. And that's what we have in this community. And
I
that's,
do have to ask one more question, though, to wrap things up about our planet, because it's something I got asked a bunch about, and I don't know. So I figured let's ask.
Let's do it.
Is it a possibility, since we are staking NFTs on our planet, if I wanted to play a game like Hodl God and I don't have a suit of armor that I want, but somebody's staking one that I want on our planet, could I borrow that NFT? Are we looking at the potential for our planet to go from staking to leasing?
Yeah, that's a great idea, and goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the DeFi aspect, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about that because I think some of this is already being built, right? Like I think that's obviously a lot of people are thinking about that, and that's definitely where this is going. Of course, like leasing, I think even Shintai has a model where they're building something like this out, but I think that's going to be a whole niche aspect of this whole industry where it's going to be leasing digital items, right? Especially ones with utility, like you mentioned, like a video game item. I think that's a pretty common sense, almost like use case. Of course, like you'd have to think like it comes with ownership rights. Like really, what it needs to be is, like for our planet, when someone puts it in our contract, it's kind of like it's just in a contract. But what you're suggesting and what I'm really interested in too, that's like where what I'm really excited about is like this whole aspect of, you own it, you can then, you could put it up again for collateral, you could lease it, right? Like this whole peer-to-peer NFT market is what I'm super interested in.
I think that will cure
totally
the hoarding
coming.
problem. I think that will cure it overnight. The people that want to buy these things and just like maybe try to make 100x return, so they're going to wait 5 years to sell it, and they're never going to play the game with it. Well, for those 5 fucking years, maybe they'll just stake it on our planet and that's it. But now it never gets used in the goddamn game. Now they can stake it on our planet, and the game doesn't miss out on that unique item. If it's a mint 1 of 1 legendary sword or armor or vehicle, like the whole entire ecosystem misses out on those things. And I've spoken about this with Nathan and Corey and Joel Com and many people. If I get a mint 1 of 1 legendary item in your game, I'm gonna fucking burn it. And I'm gonna laugh at you because you built the crux of your game around a burnable item. Your entire game is built on top of this blue eyes, white 3-headed dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to rip up all the cards in front of your face.
destroy them all.
Yeah, you think of how much it'll grow the market when people realize that, like, wait, I can buy this item. We already see it happening even with our planet, right? I mean, that's kind of like what we did with these mining tools, right? People are investing in NFTs specifically for this DeFi aspect of it because they're going to earn ether, right? Well, think about when like you could own that rare 1 of 1 whatever gun in for Fortnite that whatever, right? But then like you see that as a an investment device where like it's paying you some sort of passive income. Like if I could just rent that out, put that on the rental market, and I'm collecting a few bucks a day from renting it out. Now you're talking about like an ROI where you can just be buying digital items, leasing them out, and get your money back and still own that item. Yeah, I think that's going to only expand the market.
Absolutely.
And it solves that problem of people worrying about, oh God, this thing's off the market. It's just rotting away in somebody's wallet. Nobody will ever even see it.
What if they lose their keys now? Now there goes the item forever. But if they lost their keys while they were staking it and now it's available for leasing, people can borrow it. It never gets truly lost. And that's what I think a lot of these mainstream games are trying to figure out, how to prevent the death of their game when an item is lost due to the death of a private key. And that's what I'm saying about these mint one-of-one legendary items that the games are cruxing on. It's like the foundation of your whole thing is this, like the blockchain heroes. They have like this one thing that they're all highly sought after. I swear to God, if I ever get it, I'm burning it. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to sell it. I will burn because people, it's almost like having those, the sand art, like the monks will spend like a year building like a sand art, colorful mural at a different colored sand.
Yeah, the mandalas.
Yeah, and then they fucking brush it away in 3 seconds.
That's so cool.
People need more of that shit in their fucking lives, bro.
That's the relief from reality that provides us with solace in our daily lives. Just blow out the candle. Who cares? Let's just freeze to death.
But also,
okay.
I also believe moving forward, we will see those mint one-of-one things have that non-burnable function put into it, though, because they're all learning from this experience together.
Absolutely.
So I guess to wrap things up, Bonz, where can people go to get in touch with Tribal Books, Our Planet, things that you're in, or where can they get in touch with you and what you're up to?
All the socials, man. Follow us on Twitter, Our Planet. Follow Tribal Books. If you have NFTs, come stake them on Our Planet, and come join us on Telegram. Come join the community, hang out, have fun.
Yeah, I gotta stake my Tribal Books mint one-of-one Viking book, because I am the king of all Vikings, bitches. You are all my bitches, Vikings. I had to. Right. This is why I had to buy it right here. My beard bought it. I was just its, puppet.
Do you condition it? You use conditioner? Any beard oils?
I have never I don't even brush it, bro. I do nothing. Zero maintenance.
You want to look biker beardy.
Yeah, man. I'm all natural. All right. Shout out to Nathan, my co-host from Super World. Bonz, my bro. Everybody for tuning in. Thank you all. Much appreciated. As always, have a day. See you tomorrow at noon.
Have a day.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen him. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.